What's up, everybody? Today, I'll be counting down my top 10 things I like in roller coasters. And that just is basically means what I enjoy most in a roller coaster. So, with that out of the way, I just want to know that this will be controversial, and you might not agree with it. So, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments. Well, it's pretty much controversial like all my countdowns. You guys are pretty good at leaving your own comments, but I'm just saying, if you got some questions or concerns about the video, just leave it in the comments. You probably will too, because these videos tend to be controversial. Okay, so let's begin with the honorable mentions, like I usually do in these type of videos. In my opinion, honorable mentions, and this will get, like, if you don't know what I'm talking about, like, this will get kind of the feel of what things I'm talking about. Let's get the honorable mentions. The honorable mentions could be like laterals. They're pretty good. It's basically whenever you like get stuck to the side of the train, whenever the train turns. Helixes get pretty good laterals along with bank turns, but they're not. I mean, that's not really what I look for in a roller coaster. And the second thing is restraints and environments. The restraints, they do matter, but they're not that important in a really good roller coaster. I mean, you could have over the shoulder restraints, but it could still be the best roller coaster in the world and focus on airtime. So yeah, and variety. Basically, this is like the variety of the things on the ride. Basically, it kind of falls in the elements category, I guess. Basically, like different things. Like Afterburn has really good variety. Like you really don't see anything on that ride twice at all. You don't feel anything twice either. The thing is uniqueness. I guess Afterburn could be unique too because it has all those variety. Like unique rides, like Verbolten is very unique. I guess Top Thrill Dragster because there's only another one kind of like it. Oh, Maverick, yeah, that's a very unique ride. Millennium Force was unique when it opened. So was Magnum. I guess Banshee because it's the only one with over the shoulder restraints. And Beast pretty unique too. Oh yeah, and the next thing is statistics. This is not that important in my opinion. This is probably the least important thing on here. They really don't matter. If it's a good ride, it's a good ride, no matter what the stats is. I just wanted to include it. I just wanted to include it. Okay, the next thing is surprising in my rankings. Basically, this roller coaster is like overperformed. I really just think that's really cool in coasters, how it can like overperform or underperform. Sometimes it's unpredictable. I actually like that kind of element. The next thing is a good ending in a roller coaster. I think it's kind of important, but not really. Probably the best thing on this list I look for is probably laterals or good ending. Probably maybe uniqueness, but yeah, a good ending's pretty necessary. But I say it just missed out of the top 10. So let's get to the top 10. 10 is out of the control feeling. This really comes with wooden roller coasters. As I picture here, Mystic Timbers. It's probably the best example of the out of control feel. Maybe Great America Scream Machine at Six Flags over Georgia. That has really out of control feeling too. So my definition of it is basically feeling that the train will derail at any moment. A lot of the fast-paced rides and rough rides have this feeling, but the smoother rides really don't. But it's at number 10. I really do look for it in a roller coaster, but it's not that big of a deal if it doesn't have the feeling. And number 9 is the theming. This is basically what it is. It's the theme of the ride. Now, I have pictured Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider has a really good theme. It's how Q is themed, and plus it has like this really cool station music of like old western. And I don't know if I took that away with the DCI renovation, but like they had like speakers in the lift hills playing like old western music and like the like gunshots and stuff. You hear like gunshots in the queue line at random times. It's really cool. I really like the theming, and also a really good theme ride is Space Mountain at Disneyland in California. That's a really cool theme ride. So yeah, theming is just at number 9. It's a pretty important thing I look for, but it's not the most important. 8 is the good experience. This is basically how much fun you have on the ride and how fun it is. This also could mean like the good staff, the good environment, overall park, and then a roller coaster that's overperformed. It just like really just blew your mind. I have Top Thrill Dragster on here. I actually thought I had a really good experience of it. The theming was great. It was short though, and I had a really good encounter with a person. And you know, it was like after hours, and I was like one of the last people in line for it. I just had a really good experience in that roller coaster. I really think it bumped it up in the rankings, in my opinion. So yeah, let's move on to number 7. Oh no, I didn't. Let me just fix that real fast. Oh, sorry guys, I just had to fix I forgot the numbers. Like you know, 7 8 like 7 6 5 4 3 2 1. I forgot to put those numbers, but they're on there now. So let's get back to the video. So basically, 7 is ejector airtime. I have pictured Terminator 305 because I really think it's the best roller coaster I've ridden for this element, which is ejector airtime. I really think it's the strongest in the ride. And it's basically whenever you get ejected out of your seat. Now you can have like a forceful ejector airtime, or you can have forceless. If you ride it enough times, it becomes forceless, but most of the time, you're going to see a forceful ejector airtime hill. Basically, what force is like where you have butterflies in your stomach, and like you kind of like your stomach kind of turns a little bit. That's basically like the gist of it. If you've ridden a roller coaster before, most likely you experienced it before. Okay, so yeah, basically this is whenever you get ejected out of your seat. I think Terminator 305 represents it very goodly. Watch POV of that. And it's number 7 is ejector airtime. Number 6 is elements. Well, it was. Oh, let me fix that. Okay, I fixed that. I'm gonna proofread these PowerPoint next time. Sorry guys. All right, so this number 6 is elements / layouts. I was talking about elements later. So yeah, basically it's the things that make up the ride. You know, the layout of the ride. Basically, just watch the POV, and the POV is what I'm talking about. What's on the ride? Basically, the elements, which could be inversions, airtime hills, drops, launches, lift hills. Basically, just the ride itself. But so yeah, I really think elements are really cool on the ride. It's at number 6. I actually maybe I'm second guessing that because they are pretty important in the ride. So maybe they're a little higher. If you didn't have elements, you know, there'll be the ride would be nothing. But this is basically just what I think it is. Like, this is not what like the ride is necessary. This is basically what I think. Basically I think it's just elements just put layout wise. I think that'd be better be a better representation of it. Okay, let's move on to number 5. Number 5 is floater airtime. And what I have pictured here is Terminator at Carowinds. Now this ride is really just the representation of floater airtime. It's just a floater airtime machine, which it probably gives the best floater airtime of any roller coaster I've ridden. Even beating out coasters like Diamondback and Magnum, which are other hyper coasters I've ridden. So basically what it is whenever you float out of your seat. Now you can have like forceless floater airtime, which is what it mostly is. I'm pretty sure. Or you could have like a forceful ejector, like a forceful airtime hill. But I don't think I've actually experienced that. I just heard about it, like on other roller coasters. But for the most part, it's really forceless. But you know, that's all right because I really like the sensation of floating out of your seat and then plummeting back to earth and then going back up, floating out of your seat and then plummeting back to earth. I really like that about the ride and just all the rides that have it in general. Number 4 is pacing. Now I know this is really like I know this isn't really like the definition that you guys are probably used to, but my definition of pacing is like back-to-back elements, and there's no dual parts. Basically, there's no parts for you to breathe. Basically, like it's just back-to-back, like insaneness. That's my definition. I know it's probably not your definition, but you know. So basically, I have Maverick Picture because this is the very definition of best pacing. This is definitely the best paced coaster I've been on. In my opinion, like with my definition, basically it's just back-to-back element and it's relentless. Basically, whenever you think the ride's over, if you have not seen a POV or not ridden before, that launch really acts like a brake run, and then you launch. So yeah, that could be, I guess, a dual part, but I mean it really kind of adds to the pacing because you know it's kind of a surprising part of the ride. But yeah, the launch would probably be better than just like a straight track. Actually, if they had a straight track, this roller coaster probably wouldn't have a good pacing, but since it like slows all the way down and then launches, it kind of adds to the pacing and like the diversity of the ride. Okay, so let's get on to number 3. Number 3 is intensity. I know I've pictured in 305 before, but I really just think this ride is basically intensity and ejector airtime. That's all it really is. Oh, and a forceful drop. You know, this ride basically has everything but I really don't think it does everything to like the max, if you know what I mean. Like it has everything, it almost does everything to the best it can, but it's a little bit not as good as my number one, which is Fury 225. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen my top 10, top 20 roller coasters. But yeah, Fury in my opinion is a little bit better because it does a little bit better. Just does a little bit better. Like there's really no other way to explain it. So let's just get back to intensity. Let's basically how intensity a ride is, and it induces grayouts or blackouts. This ride definitely induces grayouts every single time you ride, except maybe if you marathon it. I think maybe one ride. I think I got like 7 in a row. I didn't like one ride wasn't a gray out, but like I haven't blacked out on it. I don't think. My little brother and my friend has. They both blacked out on it. All right, so yeah, let's move on to number 2. Number 2 is forceful drops. Now this is pretty surprising to even me. When I was making this list, I automatically put forceful drops to number 1. But then I noticed there's one thing that makes a roller coaster just a little bit better. There's just one thing that makes roller coasters better. Like there's just one little thing, and in the picture I have Millennium Force, and the one little thing is actually pictured. Spoiler alert. But yeah, basically what it is feeling of butterflies in stomach, and it could come from floater or ejector airtime. Now, I really like this feeling a lot. This is the reason why I ride roller coasters. That and really intensity, and number 1. But oh yeah, and number 2, number 1 could be very interchangeable. They kind of go along with each other. Like without one, you couldn't have the other, in my opinion. So yeah, I have Millennium Force pictured. I really think it has a forceful drop, but I don't think it's as forceful as Intimidator 305 and Fury, in my opinion. But I really didn't want to just like put a whole bunch of pictures of Fury and Intimidator 305 on here, so I decided to put like my number 4 coaster. No, number 5 coaster. No, wait, no. I think it is number 4. Yeah, my bad, guys. Number 4, number 5. My number 4, number 5 coaster around here, because I really like Millennium Force. The station music stuff. It's really cool. Okay, so let's move on to number 1. My number 1 thing I like in roller coasters is a great first drop / first launch. Now, this I think is essential for a great roller coaster. If you don't have a good first drop or good first launch, it kind of gets out boring. Most people wouldn't even like the ride. I really think the best part of the ride is going to be the first part. It will be the launch or the first drop. That's in most cases, but like Maverick, that's I think the first drop's probably the not the best part of the ride, but it's one of the best. But that's really the only exception. Maybe Top Thrill Dragster, dude. But yeah, Fury, Intimidator, Hurler, Magnum. The first drops are all the best parts of those rides. Those are what make the rides what they are. You see, if Fury had like a if you had like 100-foot drop and it's not that steep, it wouldn't be nearly as good as it is. Now, coming with a first drop, it has necessities. Like it'll either be like ejector airtime first drop, like Maverick, or like floater, like Fury. So yeah, and then it's got to be like a forceful first drop as well. If the drop is not forceful, or it doesn't do either ejector or floater, then this is not going to be number 1 in my opinion, and then forceful drops should be number 1. But if the drop's going to be like Fury's drop or Maverick's drop, then it definitely be number 1. But like yeah, so as you can see, like number 1 and number 2, they go hand in hand. And the definition, in my opinion, on a great first drop / launch is how the overall start of the ride is. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Tell me some feedback. I'm probably gonna post a review coming up tomorrow or the day after. And if you guys haven't known, I have started school, so the videos have kind of slowed down, but I'm gonna try to pick that pace back up. All right. So yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.